You woke up this morning as one person. Then you went to work and became someone else. You called your mother and became someone else again. You saw an old friend, and a version of you that hadn't existed in years walked back into the room. 3 different people, one body, one day. And here's the part nobody tells you. You didn't choose any of them. Watch yourself tomorrow, really watch. At work, your voice sits a little lower. You choose your words. You laugh at things that aren't that funny. At home with family, you slip into a role you've played your whole life. The responsible one. The funny one. The one who keeps the peace. With your closest friends, something loosens. The jokes get faster. The real opinions come out. On a first date, you become a curated trailer of yourself. The best scenes, carefully cut. And somewhere in all of this, a quiet question starts to form. And if I'm this many different people, which one is actually me? Most people, when they notice this, feel a small private shame about it, like they've caught themselves in a lie. Because the story you've been told is simple. Somewhere inside you is the real you, the authentic one. And everything else, the work voice, the polite laugh, the version you become on a first date, is fake. A mask. So when you feel yourself shift through the day, it feels like fraud, like you're performing, like everyone around you is getting a costume and the real you is hidden underneath, waiting to be alone again. That's why coming home alone can feel like such a relief. You get to stop pretending. The mask comes off. Except this is where it gets interesting. The science says the mask was never the mask. In the 1970s, a psychologist named Mark Snyder noticed something about how people behave in groups. Some people change a lot, depending on who they're with. Others barely change at all. He called it self-monitoring, how much you read a room and adjust to it. High self-monitors are social chameleons. They shift tone, posture, energy almost automatically. Low self-monitors stay roughly the same everywhere they go. But here's what the research kept finding. The shifting wasn't a sign of being fake. It was a sign of social intelligence. Think about why your brain would build this. For almost all of human history, you lived in a small group, maybe 100 people, and your survival depended entirely on your place in that group. You needed to be gentle with the child, firm with the rival, deferent to the leader, warm with your allies. The person who could read each situation and become what it required, that person survived. That person belonged. So your brain didn't build oneself. It built a self that adapts, a different program for every room. What you've been calling fake your whole life is actually the most sophisticated thing your mind does. So let's go back to that question, the uncomfortable one. If I'm this many people, which one is real? The answer the research points to is strange and a little beautiful. They all are. The version of you that's gentle with a grieving friend is not a performance. That gentleness is real. The version that's sharp and quick with old friends is not a mask. That wit is real. The patient one, the ambitious one, the quiet one, the loud one. You are not one true self wearing costumes. You are a collection of real selves. And which one appears depends on who is in the room with you. The discomfort you feel when you switch isn't guilt. It's just your brain changing programs. You felt the gears move and mistook it for lying. But there's one more turn, and it's the one that changes everything. We tend to believe the real you is the one that shows up when you're completely alone. No audience, no one to perform for, just you in your room at night. But think about what that version actually is. That's not the truest you. That's just the you with no one to respond to. Because you were built for the room with people in it. Your warmth needs someone to land on. Your humor needs someone to catch it. Your gentleness needs someone to receive it. The alone. You isn't more real than the others. It's just the one version of you that nobody else gets to see. So tomorrow, when you feel yourself shift, when your voice drops at work, when you soften on the phone, when an old friend pulls a forgotten version of you back into the light, don't call it fake. You're not losing yourself in all these people. You're finding the parts of yourself that only they could reach. You are not oneself wearing masks. You are a pattern responding to the room. And once you see that, you stop calling it fake.